data management and how we segregate it and what is the importance of data governance in today's life. So, moving forward with the presentation, what is data governance? It's actually the backbone of a modern data management. It actually places out the framework, how the data is, how secure your data is, what are the policy behind this, because in each different region there's a different policy regarding the same. So yes, data governance is the framework of policies, as I've mentioned it here, that it is a framework of policies, rules, whatever is going behind that data, and how it is different from data management. So data governance basically ensures that your data is very, very accurate, to the point, and very consistent. Security is at the topmost end because that is what is very talked about. And it is very compliant with every region. The data is for example, if we go for Africa, the data policy, the compliance issues, and everything, it is all different as compared to India, to compared to UK, compared to USA. So, and how we can use the data in a day-to-day basis and available to the right people at the right time. So, next, we move on to the framework of data governance. What is the governance life cycle of a data governance? How it works? Like from first, when data comes to a particular project, a particular company for the client. So what we do with the data is discovered, where the data exists, at what platform, and where it is stored. Then comes the classification, how the classification of every segregated data gonna take place, how you're gonna categorize it between sensitive and non-sensitive data, how secure we have to be regarding the same. As I mentioned earlier, the policy creation, because there are different policies in different regions. When it comes to India, when it comes to UK, when it comes to USA, and many more regions from the European Union and everything. Then comes the monitoring of data, because this is where it is actually very important uh, step of the framework, because uh, this is where you need to track compliances of what amount of data, and whose data, which client's data is gonna go further, and which gonna seize, and which gonna be hidden from the very eyes of our own. Then comes the continuous improvement. As I told, it's always a room for improvement for everyone. Similarly, it's always a room for improvement for the data collection, for the data framework, how it's gonna work further in the future. Then comes the core components. What are the four pillars? As we have four pillars in a democracy, similarly, there are four pillars of strong governance. Coming from first pillar is data stewardship. It actually means that you assign ownership to the data. If I'm let's say I'm the company Mercedes-Benz, and I've got a data of Abbott. It's a pharmaceutical company. So the pharmaceutical company gonna assign ownership to me as, yes, I'm gonna own the data. I'm gonna be the responsible for the accuracy, for update, security, access, and everything along the line. Then comes the policies and standards. Again, yes, data governance is the policy behind the data management. So it is because it set clear rules for the data collection, how it's gonna take place, how it's gonna where it's gonna store. Then comes the technology enablement. Like today, we're gonna further in this course also we're gonna learn about Power BI, Tableau, and many other data visualization tools, and storage like Informatica and everything. So how these today's technology gonna use data, gonna store them and make them secure. Then comes the compliance again. It's the same thing that in for different regions. What are the compliance for using data to ensure that, yes, we are adherent to the law, because everyone is answer to the law itself, and uh, be it India, be it European Union, and everything. So the next slide, I'm gonna differentiate between, because this is a major hoax, that what is the difference between data governance and data management. So data governance, what it does, it actually sets the rules, it sets the platforms and strategies, like how gonna data is gonna be governed. Whereas data management, what it does, it executes those rules, the policies that have been laid out in the day-to-day basis. That it ensures that, yes, those policies gonna be uh, executed on a day-to-day basis. This is in this slide I've shown you the Minimum, but yes, a major contribution to a difference between data governance and data management. Like data governance, it defines what should be done, again, the policies, the compliances, what are there, and what's the business and compliance teams who gonna ensure, yes, the data is secure, the data is private, and the data is actually manageable. Then the major question arises is like why data governance matters now. Yes, in today's digital age, as we say, in previous years, like Saudi Arabia and various other companies, they had the major oil banks and everything. So they were used to call the yes ruler of the world because they have the oil, and oil is actually the source of every country. So in today's digital age, what we call the data is we call it as a new oil because yes, the person or the community or the organization who has the data rules the world. Similarly, we can see other big four companies and everything. That is why so many compliance and security issues are tracked so that the data is secure for every particular person for every client. And hence, without governance, the data actually becomes inaccurate because it's not segregated, it's not consistent, and also it becomes very insecure because yes, there are various data breaches as we have seen in the past. So to ensure all these three trial atoms, we think yes, the data governance is actually important right now, and what we should work on. Then, and when the governance is there, data transforms. I wrote this actually myself that with the governance, data transform into valuable business intelligence that actually drives growth. Yes, as we move further in the course, we'll know various business intelligence platforms like Power BI and Tableau, where we use data to visualize the client, like how what particular item and how it's going to work, how if you're going to move to e-commerce platforms, what number of products, what the idea of the product is going to move from one place to another. So yes, when a person goes through the statistics of the platform, or the company goes to the statistics of the what of a particular product, then they know that yes, okay, we need to work on these and this. You get to know the segregated platform of pros and cons and the area that the person or organization need to work on. Then on the next slide, yes, why is it essential? It's the same similar thing that I've been answering for the previous slide. That yes, a better decision making, as I told just now, how the company uses data governance and become reliable on various other entities. Then comes the operational efficiency because to be honest, not no one client gonna use the whole operations of data from himself. That is why big four exist and many other companies exist so that they can have a good executive team and gonna look after the data, how it's gonna perform. Then comes the regulatory compliance against the lawsuits that every company have to work on in various other regions. Then come the risk mitigation, hence preventing fraud and cyber threats. Yes, because it is very important because data is the new oil, and you can command over anyone if you have the data of a particular entity. Then comes the enhanced customer trust because the data is sensitive, because data is personal, because data is very secure thing. You need to have a customer trust to the client, and the client also needs to understand that yes, secure handling of sensitive data is very important. And if there are multi-factor authentication or anything along the line, it is for a purpose. Then what are the now comes in this slide why I use this slide because we have been working on data management a lot but not on data governance and due to which it has been deteriorating since past and which but the thing is it should be vice versa. So, what has happened? What are the challenges in data governance? Because there's a lack of executive support. Because mm, I would call myself also and many other people. They are working on data management, how to manage data, how to visualize data, but no one is working on the policies, how to not no one, but there are very few considered to the amount of the public that is used in this. So yes, lack of executive support. Poor data quality, yes, because we get the data, raw data, and then we visualize it and everything, not looking into the policy, not looking into the security terms. So that is why, yes, poor data quality, then their resistance to change. Now, if I ask you, like, yes, I use this point because teams don't want new rules. Yes, because if I ask you, like, yes, you have to do the two-factor authentication. Most of you will say, let's skip it for now and go for the next step right away. And many people skip it. Two-factor authentication. This is just a small example of a small entity because people used to skip it for now, and that's where the compliance issues happen. That's where the data becomes insecure, and then we complain the government, or we complain the entity, or we complain the organization. Then comes the complex regulation. Yes, different, as I told you before, different regions have different compliance issues. You have to you it compiles of the data. It's compiles of the file work. I would say for every region. If I'm the company cognizant, my compliance will be different in US. My compliance will be different in European Union, and my compliance will be different in India. Hence, tool overload, too many disconnected platforms. Yes, if we get a platform for like Informatica and various other data tools, we can get actually connected with them. So just one click and the data will be segregated. Hence the solution: building awareness. Yes, campaigns start small. You must have seen before that organizations actually take a huge project but not able to manage those. So that is why it is said that start small and then invest in automation tools as we see Power BI and everything to reduce manual work. Coming to the last slide, one of the last slide, role of technology. Yes, data catalogs. It helps find and organize data because like Collabra, it's a platform which actually gives the client catalog, the data in the form of catalog, which organizes it and segregates it in a humongous way. Then comes the master data management. Yes, Informatica again, and then analytical platform that we're gonna learn in this course ahead. That is Power BI, Tableau, how to visualize data, how to turn governed data into insights, and then comes the data security and privacy tools to protect and sensitive data. In conclusion, I wrote this that yes, govern your data today or it will govern you tomorrow. Yes, people, starting small, I would say yes, go for the two-factor authentication because it's governing. It's because you're gonna govern those data. If you don't go for it, it will govern you tomorrow because it will be insecure. Hence, data is a strategic asset, not an IT function. It's your asset. It's a personal asset. Yes, governance is very important, and governance also ensures trust between the customer, between the organizations and compliance, and hence enhance growth. Then start small again. That is a conclusion for the whole slide. And thank you.